breso sede yade kodiewuo eba bekunkum nipa biti se covid no sede esi kon no e wo se ohia ye kone sa
mampanyin dada na nadodan kwa egufuado ede atodwa se obesre se abromo ya ahoboa kwa akoto aba e wa amanyokuo ni mu no obesre se obi ankan hunu se NPP amanyokuo no eso se ankrankra bi ewomuo enti omfa nkabo mu ni asomdwe enkoto aba
Ankani chief of staff ye mame frema ose opare na wode atu edwa se MPP amanyokuo no wo mo ntemu nkitahundie ne nkabomu antumi anye yi a omo enkan hunu se ede enkugodie ne bebre wo mo sede esi afimpinu ne aduonu nan no
enei empanyufo numu omayi omanim se omo bepre eto franka ediama NPP amanyokuo di omonsa ekohye asomdwe apam ase IGP
ede atu edwa se eye aposifo a wonum ebekọ akobo ban ewo primary siase no police station bia no aposifo adioson 70 eno mbekọ
enkramantem soafo ede ato adehiomowo enkran produemu bebi edidwa no afre circle aboso kan kaneshifo nyina enim se nyame adomo a February bosomida edikan di congestion exercise bi ba bekoso ho ento mesre se dru ho no obi amoa ma adwuma no enkoso wano
ensempi kan won ye de bremo kasebo mu enwumakuo ya daroma wo na aso yasene
ye de aseda ekwa ma this way chocolate drink de wo hia ene ensohye ye was special ice mineral water and drinks assault no best point savings and loans best assurance you too nchine need fufu nita benkwan na fe enwumakuo nkaye bi enomaso yasene ama ensem no ye de bremo ya ye de ensem ne ba ye me abena ba yi nyano mene
akosia sapon afi ye ransem ni mudia mampanyi John Dramani Mahama de ato empanimfo a wonum eda man ahodo ano se ye kase ye yi ohia ewo oman biemu na ye pese ye kun ohia brubro efri oman mu a esese ye fa nani breso na ye ne te de covid-19 tiye se de na oman bi ani abre ehwe se yade no obeso ano obepeduro ede aso ano se de be ya ne manfo enwu no sa pepepe ne sese ye de anibre ekọ ohia so ne no ebetumi aboa wodi nsem yi tudwa ewo World Economic Forum eno ekoso Davos abra wonum ehye de sinkonwa efa Accra reset we side event ekoso eno di nsem yi tudwa.
And we face an unpredictable world. And this is why Africa must be responsible for its destiny. Today we face a different pandemic, the pandemic of unfulfilled potential. Millions of young people have no jobs, health systems that collapse at the first crisis, economies that extract our resources but build nothing long-lasting. If we could mobilize the world to fight a disease, why can't we mobilize to fight poverty? To fight dependency, to fight the systems that keep brilliant young Africans locked out of the future. In Ghana, we're proving something important, that execution beats excuses. We're cutting government spending and have reduced the size of government to a record low of 58 ministers, including deputy ministers and regional ministers. We're digitizing services to end corruption. We're training young people for the jobs of tomorrow. We have renegotiated our debt so we can invest in our people and not just service loans. This is the Resetting Ghana agenda, and it's working because we stopped talking about the transformation and we started building that transformation. Now imagine this same approach across Africa and the entire global south. The multilateral order and rules-based system may be under threat, but we can forge a new coalition of the willing based on a shared vision and mutual respect for each other. What if we pooled our negotiating power on critical minerals so we capture value and not just extract raw ore? What if we exercise more sovereignty over our natural resources to create prosperity for our own people? What if we build regional manufacturing hubs that create millions of jobs for our young people? What if we produce our own vaccines and our own medicines with our own technology? My fellow leaders, let me speak plainly. In this fast-changing world, we're entering an era where countries must compete, innovate, and build or be left behind. Our young people are watching, they're brilliant, they're hungry, and they're running out of patience. So here's what we must focus on. First, we must invest in skills, not just education, but skills that match real jobs in the real economy. Digital skills, green energy skills, manufacturing skills. We need a generation of young Africans who can build and not just consume. Second, we must build together. No African country can industrialize alone by itself. We must create regional prosperity platforms, manufacturing zones, energy grids, and digital infrastructure that gives our businesses scale and our workers opportunity. Third, we must negotiate as one. When we bargain separately, we're weak. When we negotiate together on minerals, trade, and climate finance, we can be formidable. Unity should not be just a slogan, it must be our strategy. Fourth, we must produce at home, from vaccines to semiconductors to solar panels. If we don't make it, we'll always be dependent on someone who does. Industrial policy isn't old-fashioned, it is what will make us survive. And fifth, and most importantly, we must hold ourselves accountable to our people. We cannot ask the world to invest in us if we tolerate corruption, waste, and systems that don't work. Reset means reform, and reform means results.
Enkane mampanyin na nado dankwa Ekufuado ediato NPP amanyokufo emanyina enimse obesro mu adase eyaba omo ekwa akoto no January bosumida etwatoi obia enhwese obehunu se NPP amanyoku no esopa na ewo eye eniema bibrea eden di ekyerese enkabomuni asomdwe ene de omaba bedu baby omadwi inti no obesre se aba no omo kwa akoto no momfa santo omadwi mu na omunyai so omobeye bibia eden papemu anase njichemu bi ebeba party no mebasa na ebeye dia momo se nkunimdie kra no ombedi bi ewo oman Ghana emu na wochiremu se eye asomdwe apama womo preso ombetu franka diama NPP amanyoku di omonsa hyase enye se ebi akrata so keke nemum na wo so omo kire se ampa di omo di omonsa hyase no omo edebeye adwuma.
This peace pact, this commitment pact, is therefore not a mere ceremony. It is a solemn covenant, a commitment that ambition will not override fraternity, that competition will not descend into hostility, and that once the ballot has spoken, the party will move forward as one. To the aspirants gathered here today, your conduct will shape the moral tone of the MPP and the future of our country. Your supporters, the grassroots, and the youth of this party are watching you. History will judge not only who wins, but also how all of you conduct yourselves. Let me be clear. The MPP is bigger than any individual. No ambition, grievance, or faction is greater than the elephant. Leadership contests must never weaken the collective cause. Unity is not optional. Unity is not a slogan. Unity is a strategic necessity for victory. So I charge all of you, this peace pact must not only be signed, it must be lived. Over the remaining days, let your campaigns be firm but fair, competitive but respectful. Ours is a tradition that rejects fear, insults, intimidation, and bitterness. After the primaries, there must be one party, one direction, one destiny. Let me end with confidence on a positive note. I have no doubt that the new patriotic party remains the best vehicle with the best ideas for Ghana's future. Our duty is to keep that vehicle united, disciplined, and worthy of the trust of the Ghanaian people.
Chief of Staff Mame Frema Ose Opare ena wode ato esosese ohwafin pinuni eduonu nan aba MPP for kokoto ya wo mudi nkuguo no na ekamia ese hwehwemu ene ne ebeda adwa ene se wo mo ntem no wo mo ntimi ansiesie na mna sepo bebre ewum eti ade nchichemu eba party nim sesa na wo mo ye ede akọ afin pinuni eduonu nwotwede a ene wo mo nkan hunu se nkuguo die na wo mudi ye no ebi betumi aseye si afin pinuni eduonu nwotwe so wo man kan mo ho amom na mna sepo no obi anyine de amfa mfiri ho a eno no ebe ha adwene pa.
In my work as the chairperson of the party's conflict resolution committee from 2010 to 2020, it became clear that our electoral losses, both in parliamentary and presidential elections, can be largely linked to the many internal conflicts within the party and our inability to heal faster. We are unable to forgive ourselves, reconcile, and move on after our internal elections. This peace pact is not only for aspirants and delegates, but also for all of us as MPP members and sympathizers. Therefore, the need for all aspirants to educate and encourage their supporters to see this important election as a time-tested tradition of our party.
Factionalism may energize internal contests, but it weakens the party's capacity to win national election and to govern effectively. And I was saddened hearing that the respected Professor Frimpong Boateng saying publicly that he did not vote in 2024 elections. This is what division can do to us. It's unfortunate. The internal division heralding the 31st January contest are not confined within the walls of this party. They spill over into the nation's governance. A fractured MPP does not only risk losing another election, it weakens Parliament's ability, especially the mighty minority's ability to stand as a bulwark against excesses, impunity, and bad governance. When leading figures are at war with each other, when energies are spent on intra-party skirmishes instead of national oversight, the NDC government and the majority in Parliament are given a free pass.
Enehyiemu a NPP amanyokufo ekoye ehweye ma mpanyufo no mu a omayi omanim so mbepre to franka dia ma wo mo no omode omonsa ekohye asomdwe apam ase no na eye titenani a NPP omo elections committee wodano Ora Joseph Oseiwusu ede to mpanyufo ni nyina anim se eye asomdwe apam omode omonsa ahyase no enye krata akekenti no ewoso obi ahwese de wo mu bia no wode beye adwuma woseso moto aba ni wi ade be pie free mu bia de obedi nkunim no mo nso mo saa no mo nyina mfa mo anta na chima NPP enkonanim.
The main purpose of this peace pact is to get the contestants to affirm that the process has so far been transparent, inclusive, and fair. That we want them to commit to accept the results and want them to commit to support whoever wins out of the 5 members of the team of saints. We believe that this will allow or enable members of the party to build the sufficient confidence we need to be able to freely campaign and vote for who they choose.
I pray and I plead with my contesting younger brothers. Achia Nsumuye. And for that matter, we must have faith in you. In the name of Dankwa, Dombo, Busia, Bechebilampi, Ametowobla, and the faithfuls, departed, please do something honorable for the new patriotic party and our tradition.
Elections, by their very nature, are some emotional events. We are all human, and it is natural that passions may run high, especially after the declaration of the results. However, we must all accept a fundamental truth. At the end of the process, there will be only one winner. The peace, stability, cohesion of our party will largely depend on how we, especially the candidates, conduct themselves after the primaries. Fellow patriots, a party that cannot manage victory with humility or defeat with dignity cannot expect to win the confidence of the Ghanaian people. As we are reminded, a house divided against itself cannot stand. In such a house is certainly not attractive to the electorate. Ghanaians are watching not only what we say, but also how we behave. I know the campaign has generated some heat among aspirants and supporters. I believe I'm qualified to say that we have seen it all before. Do not be discouraged by the excesses. The thirst for power and the unity required to win power must combine to motivate us to choose fraternity over factionalism once the primaries are over.
Adeshimama saa adie ya akoso ewo MPP amanyokuo wo mo primaries ya wo mo ba beto aba eye memene da ebe ni na wotwe na afe ye hunu de ebekwa akosie yankwa ahoma ne so na ye ne animdifo eni ho enkomo ye ko Department of Political Science ewo University of Ghana Dr. Kwame Sasante ye ne no ni nkomo ye tai ne kasapa na ye hwe ne eko Dr. Chote menka memawajo eba UTV so
yewura
bacho bokode
o mehuye
ye de nyame ase na gwada roma o ne akoso yi ye betumi akase wo mo asensan krata no eno ano no
anyame ane sign do nga sign na kiri asem mbom bebre no se wo hwa saadi wo sign na free and fair election abatwa emuda ho sese ankekan bi anim free and fair election no ne nkura bata baako se ureto aba exasu bieba na obiara tume esikan na ni obedim kunim no maboni hiro mu amubedim kukum waji atum se mo beta so ni baako na makwa kofri tumi nti na bibia wo yesa ade nti wo ye enema ho abie se mu beji atum se moto aban nipa benu mu ye dem obaako no bedi na so dia mu nyina mo bobo ni hiro so bani wedding kunim na mo a mo nso mu di nkukun maji atum se o yiu ye nga mo ye mode brepam e be san aba na mo betu asa nkomo no so se mo be kwakota ne wedi nkunim na chi na wa ye campaign wa ejetumi abram yiu na eno na ofa baako ofa tusu ye bie no na se woyen obo asumdwe dawun se mumma asumdwe ntina party no enu nti yempa basa ye dan woro to aban na won a wo meti kenta na won a mema won meti so won ekurikura ma na woniama dabi won fa ba nto aba enye meti no woro to aba ekukuru beti asom chichia nti ensema bien na sanse mu nyina ekuri ho yo
na dog wadaromo o ste wodwani etutumu etietie minim se wadi MPP amanyosem achi ache ewo adesuemu adekiremu ene hwehwemu mu se wohwe ayampi ahodo a akoso ewo omo campaign ahodo ni mu a ene se de wo masensan krata yi ebetumi abase obi beka se wonyi ntum emum wasan de
so wutie ayem sampani mfui wona wo mu bi won kasa woka wokatia wona won mu sikana men or young you believe because one campaign I a toxic campaign or yaw the kutia in some trip and walker casa enkoyi sere onwo na enono ewusunsu bebre nia edikan aba na saa won a wode won sa hye nwoma se de esan so woyem panimfu nti onya basabasa na mo nwachi taabo ye nti obi amrante ne maba wonti obi a nti won wo be ye nia wo pe na party mba ye wonde nti me nya wo atomni ni nia etusu ebien eye se won a wo ta won achi na wo ye saa nia mani nyina no won po modern se bibia no ho akote onipa achi na o interview achi no na wo ye niam obie na eninti wo keka ni nyina boma eno hu se won assign de na mmom won anhwe ni yepe na nkoye adwuma se mpani fu bi edi won achi no kura aba bontin se ye beja atum na mmom ni ya dem se ye berese abato ne mu beda ho fan a nkeka bi anim na sa hono mazimu ya mena mpani fu yi what wa prayer abujo be ba na efei uti jo won akasa etu akasa etia won eninti se wo de hwe owura ba omi akam hwe owura kanedi de pon ne kam hwe owura wo friend dem abetifi ni mi wura yi Dr. Brian yo uti won campaign na won adansem bi edi emma ne me bi koso ya se won ba se obi obedi no beni aka ni nye ne so wo bituma campaign because some na won aya won aka atia won ho no so ba ku dia won aka no beden beni aka wo beden na campaign
enti dog krana nka me ba bisa say wo hwe mame frema opare wono nkane chief of staff ka se wo hwe afimpinu ne aduonu nan na me na sepo wo enipa dodo no wo mu eminimu ana se wo makoma mu enu nti ena wo antimi ani nkunim nti na kam bebisa se de wo mu si ye campaign ni gidigidi wo mu wi wo betumi aka wo ho abom esan se ye national te se bia NDC ni MPP de ene obi aka ne de wi obi abefa ne kwan na we de ye internal party nankasa mu no mo ekeka we nti omo wi o betumi akom ho abom aka se emenasipo bia ne wonti ye campaign abom
etizo wotumi ye na mom so wo betumi eno ne asam kese no esane pasa won aka afa won ho esane se won aso pabirim a kire won se saa owure yi se wo de no kwa ene na ye beto wo beto aba etia ye bom waka saa aka se na se so owura no wo de tumi mana campaign ben na obetuma ye na odi apepa ta akasa na wokan ehunti na bibia no aya na ye kai wo se mo ye campaign mun kai se ye busia campaign na mo ye enunti mo mama no ntra ngodu baabi mo mama no tra kodu baabi a ubewie no na efe kwasiko no gina nkwantia ene maka kasa bebre atia opposition so odane mpaso no tie ni amoka no kire oto na edusua eno saa ne ma na ye keka bom wode nkyene pro so wode ye campaign dedede tia wo na wan tofia uma nkwana amantan yiyu enunti sisi be dia wode akudu no wo puni fimfini woro ko ngani mana wo san wechi atumene na medi eye kubia nansia wocho ya wo party ni ma titi won ho ya wo se wo mehwe na kasa eye basabasa nkrofo nka se na nkrofo nye campaign no ekutia no niama se ku no menye ne se abo noma amono mebia ni ma dia wo ye ezan se won atena wa ye ni ha ade ama kasa nchu ama kasa emwa kasa ese ade akoso na da ben wore bay
dog na ekodi ahin na okay
MPP no ma watu ku bi a wo se ethics committee bi no penin bi da no se wo behwe na obi anka kasa bi basabasa bi no woni important in fact that na wo bu ano no woda na di no openi woda no no openi na ni esu kakra ba joy na menso na mo so ne kasa yi di hu ngoma anya aduma ezane se kasa akoso won aduma mfa won na nti kom enso aba emu nhwe ni pa bi achi na sesi aji mu nti na di wo pro ne be ye
Yo, dog, you better say a branding tea and him say a bebon como atwaswa. Ewo Dr. Kwame Asante or Department of Political Science University of Ghana na yene no atwetwe nkomo afa MPP primaries sa peace pact wo mo kosensan ye no yene na abon nkomo afa ho sesen no si na wachire ne nsemu ewo eho no
Ebusuafo ye home so ye gi aboafo nkrato edi kan ye ba ye beto aso.
adejema mai mamo akwaba ye to akase bono eso a sede empanimfo ye MPP amanyokuo no empanimfo ko hyiamu e ma wo mo sensan tiase anasa asomdwe apam e wo aba wo mo ba beto no so no e ade a IGP ye yera Christian tete yewunu okopie mu ewo ho one na pamfo e ma ono so di tudwa e kire se wo mo atro krata e de akwakoma asoye hwe amanwe so mi kire osoafo a o hwe amanwe so se wo mo osoafo a wo no e na wo hwe kire e wo defense so se wo mo ehia asojafo mo a esan se enhyehyeye a wo mo hyehye ne se baby a ye police station no wo mo de abambofo e makomako aduoson 70 ena ekotitiru ene boko etifido mantamu yenim so eho no enhye danwo saa enu nti esese wo mo ye bambo eho emwa sede ebe ya enkofa oha fufuro bia emfama.
We want to assure you that we have been able to identify all the areas where the elections will take place. We have 276 plus 1 polling centers. We have been able to make our operational plans. We have met all our regional commanders who are responsible for these areas where these elections will take place. We have gone over all the preparations over and ready to go to the field. In the section of Boku, that is the area that we may need the support of the military. And so we have written to the Interior Minister to inform the Minister of Defense so that we have military support in Boku. All other areas countrywide, the military will be on standby. We are assuring you that at least 70 is the least number of a police number that will be at each police station. We will not entertain any parasecurity at the police station. We have heard a lot, social media and others. And sometimes some of the leaders of the party have forwarded some voices to me to let me know that some group of individuals are planning to deploy macho men. Please, we are cautioning that the police are more macho than the macho men you deploy. And that when it comes to the stage, that these macho men will not take advice from the caution that is given them. And they come to the police station and then we arrest them. I'm pleading, nobody should call me.
Ebusuafo nsema eye post sanhene editu dwei efa nyame ya adoma January bosumi awie yi NPP for presidential primaries omokwa akoye bambonsem aposifo a oba behwese polling station bia omobe wo so wanfa kra na enye eduoson boko etifido mantem ho so obehwese yebenya asrafo ewo ho na ye kwa homa ne so na ye ne panyi ba kwa wabene yi obambonsem mu Ora Richard Kumado ebetwen komo afasa ensemo IGP editu dwaye ho opanyi misra nyume otime nkamo akwaba
midase
yo wadaroma ensemo IGP ekan ye wo say wanfa aposifo okra polling station bia na enye aposifo aduoson misra wadaroma hu ne sei embo nkrofo hu ne sei
elections such as NDC, NPP, any national election in Katano, a national exercise. And the police for the election security task force. And all these elections, as a national exercise. One is to ensure that voters and election officers will have safety and there will be security assurances provided on the day. These are the two things that security officers at the police stations should do. But then again, election, about because there were 276 constituencies. But about political governance, I am friend of constituencies, a friend of district. Every district in this country has police stations. Some of the districts were 70 police stations. Some districts may not have the numbers. And to be a numbers now, so 70, no. IGP will ensure that they will send numbers into those particular areas. Point number 3, usually MPP delegates list is just about 500. But these days, only the Biaka one, in the name Kakra. Usually, we study MPP voting by 3 o'clock. Now, almost everybody has cast their vote. And to me, it's 70 per police station. A security management strategy to ensure that there will be flexibility, there will be comfort for people to walk around, and there will be sanity within the police station. But many of us, by elections and election violence, it has little to do with the police. It has everything to do with the electoral commissioner. Now there's a displacement of voters and deletion of voters' names and delay of the arrival of the voting materials. It's a pretty problem. Say no happier. Then by close of day, if you are not lucky and you have duplication of results, distortion of results, and discrepancies in the results, the problem, and see, start of the elections and close of polls are the two major areas that electoral commission would need to open their eyes and make sure that they follow due procedure and ensure the standard procedures are followed. What the police usually would do is to ensure that voters now they will enjoy safety and they will have security assurances. Let all of us go out there and vote and make sure and IGP spoke about they do not show up. Other than that, police forward the capacity to take them out.
Okay. Enti GDA ye say a year aposi for the swan IGP episode obi akọ polling station no ebeboa ama say bia basa ye be senior de no ebebra no ase ana say obi aye na adwen so no de emfa ho yemfa 1000 megu wo de obeya na obeye no hwa aposifo dodo ye de omoko no ebetimi aye bibia na say embo obi hu se nipa no esi na adwen pise me de weya na meya nipa no betimi enya ne ho aye de obeya na say
normally when it comes to election violence and election disturbances it is not about the police, it's about the electoral commission.
Okay,
so you go na anopa early morning, voters cannot find their names because the contenders are choosing themselves and they don't trust themselves and they are insulting everybody and themselves all over the place. So if we get there in the morning and voters' names cannot be found, we call it deletion of names. Then we call the second one displacement of voters. And the third one is delay of election materials, a very problem. Irrespective of police numbers, any military numbers, or the call a very problem. So you real elections, no either by 3 or by 5. And at the tabulation, results na yanyano. Duplication of results, distortion of results, and discrepancies in the results. Irrespective of the police numbers or the problem. If there are thousands of police officers and people can't find their names and they are from Baumia camp, they are from Kennedy Japan's camp, trouble will start. All the police can do is they want to vote. If they cannot find their name, they will not listen to the police.
Okay.
So who takes the responsibility? Electoral Commission. So the police have a duty to perform. But the Electoral Commission has a huge responsibility to ensure that there should not be any delay of material, there should not be no deletion of voters, there should not be no displacement. And at the end of the poll, there should be no distortions, there should be no duplications and discrepancies. So to me, just two ways. There will not be any problem. It will be left with the macho men who want to appear. And with 70 police officers, they will take care of the business and it will be fine. And everybody will be fine.
Yo ora Rachel Kumado nyiwe yebeda wasepa ne nchimu awode amaye yene panyi ba ko wabene yi obambo nsemu ora Richard Kumado ene di enkomo idi oka nyina ene se eye se aposifo dudu ye de omobeko se de bi ombetimi ahwa ma asomdwe aye adwuma nanso no wo se aposifo wo masede ne mom asede dodo na ade ejina abato komisa no so se obeye ne niema yie esanso wanya ne niema yie na nkrofo obeko ni omuhu omudin ewo abato ngomanim ni ade a aposifo ntimi nye bibi bebre de o ma nsam no munya abotre enti na abato komisa no bambon sembe gina yie pa ade ene ne kase no ejina omoso
Yet wakasi bono eso. Ghana Statistical Service ede ababetu eja se wo hwe Ghana ha se ya free afimpinu ne aduonu enum third quarter ba besi October bosumi nim no na ase ye hwe ohia buruburo a adokro nkrofo a na eso ate papa o mo hwe enkontabuo mu no wo se wo hwe wo de toto afimpinu ne aduonu nan a na wo de toto afimpinu ne aduonu num a na ye ha mu chichemu aduonu miensa chiripo enkono ena ehuri ye teba fom ebegina wo ha mu chichemu aduonu ba kwa chiripo enkono we 23.9% ena eteba fom ba 21.9% ena Ghana Statistical Service ejina so chese ama ohia ba fom pa enti UTV ye bo modern etam ye camera to ye kon ho ye kopie mu e wo Madina ene ne mpotamu ebisa ade hye wo ho se asem a aban kontabuni ana ne bufo ede ababetu edwanie na omo hu ni se ebi se ai fuo na ya tete so ni nti na omo kasa ebi nso kire se ya teso ye nti so wo mabrabo no ohia na no mo da so tim
statistics one in TSC say any man messages from where when ya no any man grade so watama na any man boarding ebo no sa na da so te it is on bezo me hu say any man ba fam any man bia ma fam bibia boarding kokokura ya free 7 cd cd and no ko hand an chembe hora 1005 na light be keke light be na say ya increase how many percentage dey atom we to light 200 cds ya light 200 cds ya enti 2 weeks light keke enso ya say enti bibia ni wa aba fam eniema mu odin ama enti aba na obibi ya fa ho a onya fa ho ma yen
bibia ni wa na first na minto ne enti na bibia mitimito ne say wo ye adwuma nko ade a wo betimi ato bibia apesa woto ba ne ete ne say eniema ba ko mienu bi de ti say na me kan say bi anwa emo those stuffs ne de aba fam ba edan ba fam ti say mitimi to aduane di na midnight cousins mi koma still a me crisis
me hospital say me de ni ma akwem nja no de minimum worry ba me de mu de munye because any man koyi mame we sika no menya bi de ya me gina me befa we abombo no mato kenki 5 cd no me di no manom na me gina me de se mu nkoyi so nte bi an sesan bible na ne nemu because we are me gina mu from an operator mi la ka ve am maton 5 de ya de na chesa ho chile no eso ate eso nte
bibia so nte petrol no mo se ate so lolo fe ente so ukota de o marketa ne boarding mango ya mete hu ne boarding bibia obekwakoto market bia ne boarding nti bi de mi hu se bibia o hwa ya ate so ente hwe so omumbo am mi de me boarding inside de omumbo am me nya bi kura nko ye miti on dem tiri hwaye aka menya 100 cedis anka me koye mtio be menya bi ntimete nti bi de mi hu se bibi so ate na mabra bo so kura de enkoye kura
ya meka se nyama no eye na mom ye suban Ghana fo ye suban bi na ha ye kakra ye obeboa ye ama ye tumi atete nyama no so kanka won a wonu aduane ton eni ade no omo tete so kakra omo kasa nkyere won no mo tete so kakra emfama ye
first say okita 500 cedis kura na ko ikurumsa woto enema center ade na samna na ye ka no ubetime nyanta ade be 5 because e be 80 cedis e be 70 cedis ene ekeka ho no but this time okita 500 cedis no kura na kwa onya ne ma miensa ye ma na aba fom no sika ni kurum anyway ene ma na ma fam ye woto light 50 Ghana me ko na bi su meter o fio to 50 Ghana intimi ni 2 weeks kura na asa me so bibia ma ba adwuma to mi prom de me kini mi bibia wa ha obi ani fia o ye we enti aban ne hwe na onya ho bibi mai
ukota adwuma na ukura tense all the time ma e bia o de kwan no keke e ye kofa ne de sometimes no e kakra ba de badwa so a e san so ukota obi ade a won teso nti wo hu kwa fa so ato de so enti e beka ne se de arbabo no e mu nyu bebre sa but e ye aban de also ye ne say also hwe na o regulate ni ma because do amo kan dollar na before man na me mo but still na kwa outside and no can say obi na wate ni ma so na so kwato de so
abusuafo ye se homeso mpre no ye ba ye beto aso Abusiafo ye sign mo makwa ba yetoa ensem no eso. Oswafo a wohwe enkronkuma memu ene hompuntu nsem so onmunyamfo Ahmed Ibrahim abo amane se sika ya aban edema na nanom ahemfo emomu ede etena ensem so eka se bia ntawantawa ewo ahensie mu ni ade ni nyina no kane na 30,000 Ghana cedis se aban apegem ede akọ 50,000 Ghana cedis omo kira ebeboa ama saa ensem na ye omo ka no eho dwumedie ni nyina no ebeboa manema akontem.
Honorable Minister, it has always been the wish of members of the House to work assiduously to dispose of pending cases before the House. There has been several petitions to your office by parties, litigants, complaining about the delay in hearing of their cases, to the extent that some have accused the House of deliberately delaying the hearing of cases for our parochial interests. But I can confidently say that funds allocated quarterly for sittings can only organize a maximum of 5 days sitting. Another area of concern to the House is the research aspect of chieftaincy. That place being on the back burner, Honorable Minister, the House will be extremely grateful if resource will be allocated to the House to enable us to settle those numerous cases before it, and also conduct research into lines of succession to stools in the region to curb future disputes. We also look forward to the construction of our new office building, and we invite our Honorable Minister to help us to bring the project to fruition. To the staff of the House, your dedication is invaluable. Together, let's make 2026 a year of excellence, progress, unity, and justice for our region.
The Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs occupies a uniquely strategic position within the Ghana's governance architecture. As custodians of our tradition, culture, and customary laws, we play a vital role not only in preserving our heritage, but also in maintaining peace, resolving disputes, and promoting social cohesion and highly diverse and rapidly growing region. Indeed, the work of the House is central to the stability in Greater Accra, particularly given the region's complex social dynamics and its importance in national political and economic life. I'm aware that the House continues to discharge its constitutional mandate under challenging circumstances, as has been said by the King President. Concerns have also been raised or brought to my attention regarding the inadequate financial allocation for the effective adjudication of chieftaincy disputes, which inevitably affect the timely delivery of justice. And to resolve this, the President, being a listening president, has listened to your prayers. In this matter, I have taken steps to resolve this. The President has taken steps to have the quarterly allocation for the adjudication of cases increased from 30,000 per quarter to 50,000 Ghana cedis per quarter. Effective 1st April, the amount for the adjudication of cases will be increased from 30,000 per quarter to 50,000. So if the king is saying the 30,000 was for 5 days sitting, then the 50,000 cannot even sit for 10 days.
Yes.
Executive Director of that Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, Ora Ben Insia. Now, Penny Ede Atu Edra se Enkitahudie ya debia, eye ewo ayonkufebia entem. Enya ayonkufa nkoa edwuma. Edwuma bi ti se ECG ana se asuye ya wo mo hwe yen kanea ensem so. Se koba se yebedum kanea, ese so mo bo manfo amane. adwumawura nom sɛ de ɛbɛyɛ a wɔn bɛyɛ nhyehyɛ de ato sɛ de ɛbɛyɛ a ɛnkɔfa ɔhaw bi mfama ɛwɔ adwuma na wɔn ɛyɛ ɛna ɔmanfo nso wɔn mafiefie mu nso no wɔbɛhunu sɛ de obesi ahyehyɛ wɔn ho ɛde ama nkane adundum no na nansɛn ɔman ni mu ɛfa baabi wɔ hɔ a yɛdum nkane adodo ɛno no ɛha adwene ɛno nti ɛsɛ sɛ wɔn etumi adwene ho bio wɔn bɛdum nkane a wɔn bɛbɔ amane ansa.
Unplanned outages are not the best. I believe that Abribia will my outage and also my end users power outage say planned and there should be a communication back in this plan. But in recent time I think who said there are some localized challenges some communities facing and these localized challenges the ECG nor the PRC communicates to us. I think it's not the best. There is a major challenger. It is good that government be communicating who say these are the challenges we are facing and these are the reasons why EMA outages so that consumers will be able to prepare. And yes sir, one year is a new say, one year is a new say because what prepares our budget now won't information be able to answer your doom light. But it lessens productivity and I think that is not the best. The Minister of Energy must be very proactive in communicating to us what the challenges are. So my Ghana ni krano be wow say unim the challenge Ghana ni be source wana so be wow am what to resolve these challenges once and for all. But so one abribiano it creates a bit of chaos, it creates less productivity and also creates some burden on your end users ayofia ye di enu ani agu fridge mu.
Enkrimantam so for onmunyamfo Linda Obenewa Akwele Okulu ede adesrede sonkon akọ ama eye adwadifo ene wo momudi akoniaba eye wondwumedi ahodo e wa Accra Central Circle abuso kan kaneshi ene nimpotem se nyame yadom afebre bosom de dikan di congestion exercise bi ebekoso e wo ho nti edru ho no mo obesere se assembly ni ba aye omonsoso ema kwan ma edwuma bi omo ba beye no omontimi enye ne kama esanse ne yie munti eno moyesa.
This is not the first time. In fact, earlier you asked whether how sustainable this program or project is going to look like. We were a little bit relaxed because of the Xmas festivity. Now Christmas is over. In fact, the reasons why we were relaxed is because, traders, some went for loans to buy their staff so that they'll be able to sell and get some profit to take care of the house. And so that is why we were a little bit slow on them. But this time around, Christmas is over. And I believe whatever they bought has been sold. And so this time around, like Mayor said, we are not going to use any human face. We'll make sure that they strictly adhere to the red lines. That's all. Oh, in fact, yes, there are specific areas. We'll be going to Kole Klote, Ayawaso Central, Tudu, Ablekuma Central. In fact, cut across, not only for AME. Kole Klote is part, and other districts is also part. So it's not going to be limited only to AME. It's very important, my dear. In fact, Accra looks as if it has been neglected. In fact, the initial thing when you come to Greater Accra, you see that this is the center of governance. And when you come, in fact, people, why do we have a lot of foreigners here? It's because their country is so beautiful. Nowadays, we've been relaxed, and in fact, they are destroying and looks as if Greater Accra has been neglected. And so we want to bring back its beauty.
Not everybody will have money to rent a shop. That is why, in the wisdom of me and my colleagues and the regional minister, we decided to have a red line for them to move back the line and sell. But this red line this time, I'm going to really enforce the law. If you don't move back to the red line to sell, we will take you on. Not taking you on to just pick up your things. We will seize their things and make sure we take you to the courts. And you pay fine. If you cannot pay fine, they will remind you for some time. We beg them. They should all listen to what we are saying. This is the first time that we are having a decongestion that we make a red line. We have the red line for you to sell behind the line. That shows that we understand their trade.
Komo ewo MPP Amanyuku womo aba womo ba beto ne ncheye ena owura mark ewisi oye convener ma election watch Ghana opanyin de beto dwa se wo hwe MPP Amanyuku no a womo anhwe ya aba omba beto ne betimi de gidigidi aba na ye bisa se sabre ya womo akwa sensan asumdue ekrata yi sa na beba na opanyin wotime nka me mawajo eba ye kase boyiso
meje simi aba
Me gidi say de wakoma to yem asomdwe beba.
Mama fa kwanya tunchia. Na minche ahwefu nyina. And bitie preamble na ani nyina ne say de na MPP amanyo ku ba be kwa bato akoyi ni obedi won nim kan. Ebenya bato on the 31st of this month. Various camps to man wo mo no. Na ya ka kwa ya dia ya say Makuno from it and so woman, Mamdana more who finds some particular property. Look around home the position one day, Makakota and peace back. Mitie opening your wife and no that elections management committee nano. And New York and Nana said, one more year we said a bear, one make me respected the electoral laws and the results a beba. And the results no so bad. Woman united me a tune. One more as support any candidate to be winning. I think the election is not a one-day thing. It is a process. And then you have one about so. No more be a queer no. A code of conduct, any electoral law, and one with the Baba Yajuma. So come on, say back hope and find Yajuma. And say assume if you are Nadia, you be na. But the ancient problem is deploying the 70 police personnel information in Sakano is not really going to solve that problem.
Omode asoja for also cry back home.
Exactly. And in a democratic process, you are not a soldier for and count. I just said a ginsemu. And so, baby, you do not young them who say a ginsemu. To think there is no need for a soldier for them. Namum. You to me, the public, namum. Yeah, you delegates, no. On the electoral laws, he said, Yakakotwa Bay. But the message in Yinaha, Obenton and Kwaha, Otua Bezia, Kujinasi. You to meet Titania money to meet delegates next year. I think the baby reduce the level of violence and attacks nearby rather than the deployment of 70 police personnel across the 277 voting centers. I don't think that Yako anymore.
Mira, we see. Mira, we see. IGP Ekasano ochire se emia bi etise boko etifido mantamu a yenim se empre bebre ya na penchen wo ho ye wo mmea bi a eho no wo kosoro ba fom kra ekoto aba ye likely se bibi besi wose sa mmea no na wode enipa ya aposifo makoma kwaduoson kwa wasan atro de akwakoma defense ministry and interior ministry se womo be boa womo sa sojafo be ba be kan ho bi ena asamba ko etoso mienu ni se ye woga na ha sei ye kone akoto aba ye national kra no a ye nim se basabasa esi emfa won se ya kyerɛkyerɛ nti wonya sure se akoye sei no enkyerɛkyerɛ no ya ama na broso
say anka de waka no ne kwan so a no nanso de yenim ya edi adanse proven by data and say wo kyerɛkyerɛ nipa no koso kyerɛkyerɛ na na sabe etwenitrim
okay
e say emra ani asotwe a ɛwɔ saa dwumadi no no ɛno na akyerɛkyerɛ nipa no ɛno in the past no that means you got trouble ICC nya bokyerɛkyerɛ party for ngata nya bokyerɛkyerɛ but this time no entita and then woman kwakoto aba I delegate no I over 200,000 the person bisa ne say omudu do ahe na saa asundua pam ya enne one makwakotan no on beti ase and this ye ka say it is better to look at educating the masses, educating the delegates no rather than the deployment. Of course the all kinds of them no ya adwene ewo IGP kan no ye obabi a ye flashpoint I know even here the police in be more deployment. There are some areas and we here say be that deployment na call, especially the 70 police personnel you do more cost Miami. Let us rather prioritize engagement, let's prioritize educating delegates, rather than all the time because and then they be any bit matter deployment. And a better number of deployments, Let's educate them. Sabe. There are other elections are also in concluding Miami Ahoto. Yeah, Uncle, we say soldier for your police book I mean, it is no more. in a democratic process, the maximum form of Chiro, near one person will begin one man. No moment, and I am bringing say, Yako Yanimuno. This part here MPP as time. A bayan by a Juma, na a board MPP among you who aboard the political parties no mine.
Was say where you were market we see or you convey na my election watch Ghana no edi nkomo ewo ensem ahodoa ekoso MPP wo mo ba beto aba no so na yegina ede kaseboyi aba na wieye abusiafo ma tade yi a ehemi efri clothing palace ho clothing palace se eye manta de papa fie enti esese wo ba na wo boa wo esiesie huma ho ye fe wonom ewo Accra one lava di enhwenimu dwadu lava ni mo no omo edi hwenimu number ne 0271 0271998313 0271998313 we kai wo se Pepsodent so de wo di twi wo se ama wo se aye kama apai fita Pepsodent ye wo miensa a wo kodwa so ba bia supermarket bia store no kra wo dan na chi wo no kwa wonsa ebeka bepa chew ye wo Chalco bidie de no ye wo triple action ena afesu so ye san ewo ne ya hyede siesie ede enubrane hahama heba de no na aboabo se no ho ban kwada de nso ewo ho abra
media seda eko ama Pelix African Styles wo no na nyume wo sheme atade Pelix epama ne mema ne manyina ne nsa no efepa number no 0243961384 0243961384 or wager SCC wo ben DVLA and afi she salon so eshemi eni show she say afi na papa bo modin asa obe ba kwaje wote weeks na fe de border form number no 0558611842 0558611842 wono so when West Coast money di hwene mu e wo wager
medin di akosia sapo ene
abna bayi